Hello and welcome once again to Ignite Your Impact. My name is Jen Rhodes. My coffee is in the way of the shot. I'm seated next to my husband, Matt Rhodes.
Hello, everyone.
Might as well just start off with some comic relief. You're welcome, everyone.
Oh, you got your coffee. You're good to go. You're ready to roll.
I'm great. I've got a double shot in there and we are jazzed. I'm excited for today's episode.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks. Very busy. Very, very, very busy August. It looks like September is shaping up to be just as busy, but I'm excited for, yeah.
I'm laughing because we're already in September.
I know.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
I'm having a blast.
Yes.
So I want to jump right in. Today is, kind of talked about it this morning, just as we were getting organized. But with the business we're in and like what we do as professionals, we're always trying to figure out different ways to move people, whether that's through our podcast, whether that's through our daily messages, whether that's through our social media, whether it's working one-on-one with clients, but getting them to move and to move them to understand how getting shredded is so worth the effort. I just had a sales call this afternoon, and just even talking about different goals and things like that. Like it's, once you're on the other side, it's so worth it, right? And we work to show them that it isn't that hard with a little planning and the ultimate dedication to the outcome. And so having said that, we're always trying to find ways to break down barriers and to make this journey relatable, and also so that they can relate to the barriers that may stand in front of them.
Yeah. And we recently had two experiences, which what we're going to talk about today, that really brought to light one of the only ways to get through to people. Because like Jen said, we're always trying to figure out how do we do this more effectively. It's not so much the marketing portion of it, because we get tons of people that come to us and want to work with us.
Yeah.
It's more of how do we get them to understand what they're going to be going through and what they want to do. And think about it like this. If you're someone who's trying to make more money, whether that be getting ready to start a business, or maybe you're trying to improve your business, or maybe you're just trying to improve your skill set within your job so that you can make more money, or someone who's trying to lose that last 20 or 30 pounds, it's the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying that if you're in great shape, you're going to do great at business. And I'm also not saying if you're doing great at business, you're going to be in great shape. What I'm saying is they both boil down to a couple simple concepts, whether you're looking at it from the making more money or losing that last 20 to 30 pounds. And so this first experience, I mentioned we had two of them, really opened our eyes. And I want to set the stage. We had a super early flight out of the airport. I mean, it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I think you're still mad about it.
Yeah.
Are you still garnering some anger?
Yeah. I don't like.
I like to get there in enough time to not have wasted an entire day on an airplane.
Yeah. So she likes to fly out early whenever we're going somewhere. So we had this really early flight not too long ago. And the airport at this early in the morning was freaking packed. I mean, anyone that's recently taken a trip, have you noticed that the airport is just so busy? And maybe it's just busy in the morning. Maybe it's because we have a new airport in Kansas City and it's all in one area, but it just seems so busy.
Yeah.
But what happened, let's reverse. What happened before that morning, before we drove to the airport and saw all those people there? In our case, and probably everyone else's, we started thinking about where do we want to go? Now, if you're on a business trip, it's different. You're kind of told where you're going to go, but we started thinking about where we wanted to go. We researched hotels and we researched activities and flights and all the things that go into that. And then get all that booked. And then a few days before the trip, we start planning the daily stuff, meaning what are we going to wear? So we're pulling out clothes and packing clothes. And, You're downloading movies so you can watch those on the airplane, and you're making sure that you're all stocked up on toiletries, all that stuff that we all do when we're planning a trip. You can all imagine that based on the last trip that you planned, and the stuff you did to get ready to go to the airport. So then back to that morning, I look around at all the people. Everyone's so prepared and ready to go, except for that one asshole in front of us going through security who did not have their shit together, which took a while. But everyone else was very well prepared that morning and ready.
Still garnering some anger there, dear. Maybe we need to resolve this.
But everyone else was ready to go. They're well prepared. They're excited. And I thought to myself, man, what if the gym looked like this in the morning? Was packed like this when everyone is excited. And I mean, it is busy in the morning, but what if it was all those people that were so well prepared and it was just like that? Everyone's prepared. They're excited. They're up and early and they're going.
You know what's so funny? I'm going to stop you. The gym is like that.
Yes.
With those people at that time.
Yeah.
The rest of the day, maybe not so much. And we'll get into that. But think about our early gym goers and how terrified I used to be of them. That was their 5:30 a.m. cup of coffee.
Yep.
And everything had to be in perfect order, in routine. And if not, man, they got mad just like you did at that person in security.
It's true.
Why? I mean, why is that? It's a part of their day,
Yep.
right? It's a part of their identity. But I want to jump in to the next experience. The next experience was we went to the home opener this past week for the Chiefs, which this was my first real, like, full-on Chiefs experience. And I spent a lot of time just kind of like looking at this and looking at tickets. This was a surprise to Matt for his birthday. And he's a huge Chiefs fan. I don't know if you can tell by his T-shirt.
I'm wearing a Chiefs
I
shirt.
know. It's okay. You're either in Phoenix or Chiefs.
Yeah.
He's a huge, huge football fan. And I was spending like weeks looking at the tickets, looking at like where it would be on the field. So you could see, okay, now this is probably the Chiefs side. Okay, so we don't want to be here. And if you're in the end zone, you're only going to get in the action of the Chiefs maybe 50% of the time. And so I finally settled on, okay, these are perfect. Price is exactly what I was expecting to pay. Got the tickets. And then immediately it's like, do you want to buy parking? I'm like, yes, I do. I'm not screwing around with parking. So I got the parking pass, got all that handled. And then from there, it was like, one, keeping the secret. Because the minute I hit purchase, I had to hold the secret for 3 weeks. And that just damn near killed me. Like I called my best dear girlfriend, my sister-in-law, and I was like, I got to tell you this right now because I'm trying to keep it from Matt. And she's like, oh my God, he's going to love it. But from then, the excitement built from giving Matt the tickets, showing him on the field where it was going to be, like kind of planning our day, planning my employee schedule, planning my client's schedule so that I had enough time so that we weren't rushing around. This was, a big deal for Matt, so I didn't want to just load my entire day so that we were going stressed. And then it's like, well, for me, not that I'm paying attention to where Taylor Swift is in her tour. Yes, I am. But I knew she was on a break, and I was like, well, she will for sure be there. So then what am I going to wear? Because I'm going to meet my best friend Taylor. So I'm shopping a ton online until I found just like the perfect outfit. So excited to wear it. And then, Matt went and got a couple of different T-shirts from Rally House. So he had some new Chief shirts to pick from. I still hadn't bought a hat, but I'm like, how much time did I put into picking out a hat? A hat alone.
Oh, wow.
I spent a ton of time because everything had to be perfect, right? So then we blocked off our time in our calendars for that day, like looking to see when the gates would open, when would the stadium open. Okay, I've never actually been to a full tailgate. What's that experience like? So we made sure and we planned enough to where we had time to experience all these things and we weren't rushing. And the day of, like, Matt went to the store and you got I was so excited when I got home from work and you were like, okay, let's pack up. And I'm like, you did so much prep work. You cut limes for our tasty beverages. You went like filled up the cooler and pulled out like folding chairs and we were off and on our way at like 4.5 hours before the game even started.
Yep.
So that we were pulling into the parking lot. Not too bad of traffic yet. Tailgating was already getting started. There were tents everywhere. People were just kind of starting to get out in the main lot and play football and whatever. People cooking food and getting ready to go. And the setup was awesome. Like I had so much fun in the parking lot alone. And we even still had enough time to get into the stadium before there was a rain delay. Like we had so much time because we were prepared. And I thought to myself, what if this is how the gym looked like? What if this is how people attacked their fitness goal?
Yeah, and we got home after midnight. So that was not even exclude all the prep work, the shopping, the tickets, everything else. That was 9 hours that we put into just being at that experience.
It was a hefty day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll do it again anytime soon because it was a long day.
It is, but this kind of brings us to the point of how do you get in fantastic shape or how do you crush it in business? It's all about the PMP, priorities and planning. Everyone prioritizes things and everyone plans. Think about what you've done recently: a wedding, a baby shower, a flight, a game, a kid's game. You prioritized and you planned for that specific event. Now think about your fitness. I want you to think about that right now. Have you prioritized and have you planned like you did that event to get ready for? Have you done that? It's literally that simple. If you are not making progress in your fitness, it's flat out because you are not prioritizing it. There are zero excuses. It all boils down to the value that you put onto that. And whatever you value, you're going to prioritize. And whatever you prioritize, you're going to plan. That is the way it works. And I get there can be excuses. It costs a lot of money to be in shape. You're going to find the money because you find the money to get on that plane and go on that vacation. You find that money to go to the game or whatever it is that's you're prioritizing.
That parking pass alone was $60.
Yeah.
But I'm going to pay it.
And it's not about the time either.
Yeah.
Because I just said, how much time did we spend getting ready for that trip? How much time do you spend getting ready for a trip? How much time do you spend doing all that? And I know it's fun as hell to go to these events. So I'm trying to make the connection, but I know you're thinking, well, going to a vacation, going to a game, man, that's a lot of fun. Maybe going to the gym isn't. But I'll tell you what is more fun. Going to that event or that vacation in the best shape you've ever been in your life. That is what's fun. It's 100% about what is your priority.
That. Exactly. God, you hit the nail on the fucking head. Like, how good is it to not only spend that 9 hours going to that game, but being able to have people pull you aside. Man, you're fucking jacked. What do you do? That's fun. I'm like, sorry. You can have the vacation. I'd rather have the elite body, frankly. I mean, I'll take both. I don't know if you guys can hear the groaning in the background. Our dog is right here. And like everything I say, he's like, I think he's tired of us getting on our soapboxes. All right. So let's tackle the planning part first, because it is going to take a plan. Like you're not just going to wake up one day and your dream god's going to be there. It's going to take some prep work, right? So remember all the things that went into taking that trip or going to that game or making sure that you're ready for whatever tournament you're driving your kid to this weekend. It's a lot. When you get into a system like the Phoenix method, the planning is all done for you, from workouts to nutrition to sleep. I have a client I just started working with, and he's already trying to think of why it's not going to work. And I said, great. I need you to hit the gym 4 times this week. Did you already put it in your schedule? And he just looked at me like I had 3 boobs. Like, I didn't think about that. I said, great, let's do it right now. Oh, I said, I'm not going to allow you to get in your own way to fail. Like, my point is the planning should not be what holds you back from having that dream body. If you hadn't even thought about the plan, start there. Plus, if you prioritize something, you get excited about it, and then you will naturally plan, right? So now let's talk about the prioritizing part. And there's a lot of different things that we can go through, right? Like, well, I really should be eating really healthy. All right, that's fine. Things that we've talked about in the past on how to prioritize this or how to prioritize that. But here's a super simple one. Anyone wanting to break free, listen closely to what I'm about to say. Think about how this summer went for you. Did you have fun? Did you absolutely love the way you looked? Did you feel 100% confident? Did you love the way you felt every time you put on your clothes or took them off or went to the pool or the lake? Did you love that? Or do you stay on the back of the boat with your cover up? The reason you aren't prioritizing your fitness is because you're letting the numbness of life rule you. You are getting ruled by the repetition and the rhythm of life. I don't want to call it the rhythm of lazy, but just the rhythm, the monotony. And what I mean by that specific phrase is every time you don't enjoy one of those moments, you fill it with an event that does fill you up. The prioritizing and the prepping for the trip or the tailgate. So you go to the airport or the tailgate and you look around and everybody all kind of looks the same. Matt, would you see at the game, did we look like everybody that we were around?
No, but everyone else looked pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah. They aren't in shape. So you move on with the day into the day-to-day life that you've been living for so long.
Yeah. And what you need, Jen talked a little about planning, but how do you prioritize? How do you make this a priority if you've been thinking about it for a long time? What you need is a lightning moment to wake you up. You need a lightning moment. And I call it a lightning moment because it's like you've been struck by lightning all of a sudden and everything starts to make sense. And you realize that the reality that you're living, that reality Jen just talked about, isn't the reality that you want to be living. I
hate to interrupt you. I'm so
You're
sorry.
Good.
I remember your lightning moment.
Yep.
And we were pretty sideways, with our marriage at the time, but I remember that moment. There was literally nothing that was going to get in your way. And you weren't mean about it, but you had literally been struck by lightning.
Yeah.
You were a changed person.
Yeah. For me, that lightning moment came, when and I've told this before, but I was told, go to the mirror and take your shirt off and just stare at yourself. And I'd done that before. I mean, I think all of us guys, and I'm assuming girls have done something like that as well, but we've gone to the mirror and we've done that many times before. But what made it difference this one time? What was the lightning that got me to prioritize this? It's going to get you to prioritize it. I was instructed to not only go stare in the mirror with my shirt off, but ask myself, is this really what I was born to be? Was this what I was born to look like? Is this what, when I was a little kid, that I thought I would grow up to be? Was I living up to my best self? Did I enjoy the last 12 months? Just those series of questions, not to make me feel bad about myself, but to realize that I had not made fitness my priority. And when you do this type of a exercise, when you get really honest with yourself, because we've all went and looked in the mirror, but we haven't gotten honest with ourselves. When you get honest with yourself like that, you will realize that you've been prioritizing all the wrong things to cover up how you felt inside. You will realize that. That is when the lightning strikes you and you know it's actually time to start prioritizing this fitness thing?
I think you're perfect. I'm glad lightning struck. I want to wrap. Are you good? Do you want to add anything else?
No.
I think put a cap on that.
I think everyone needs to, you can do that exercise or you can do a different exercise, but at some point in time, you've got to get struck by lightning and realize that you may or may not be prioritizing all the wrong things. If you just live your life day to day and you don't wake up and start planning for the future and looking at things, you're going to turn around and it's
going to be too late.
It's going to be passing you by.
Yeah.
So it's time for you to have that lightning moment, whatever it takes. And if you need help doing that, shoot us a DM and we'll help walk you through it.
I love it. Let's cap that. I hope you found so much value in today's episode. If you did, please share it with a friend. Tag us in your Instagram stories. Give us a 5-star review. This is the only way we can grow this thing. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. And I think that's it. I think that's all the things, Mr. Rhodes.
That's it.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you next time.